All right, so the leader has entered the contest. Let's discuss. So the leader has entered the contest with Degeneration, the Steadfast Passive, the Gamma Radiation, the Green Door. Like, he brings a lot to the contest, and I gotta admit, when I was testing it was really, really fun. But first up, let's discuss his combo. Now, his combo is interesting. To get the most out of him, you want to do light attacks, not heavies, not medium light medium, not into your combat on medium, just light attacks. And when I was playing him, I didn't know that you were like, this is my, like, in this particular part of this video, I didn't know you had to keep the opponent on the green door to, to build up his charges faster. So he's kind of AI dependent, but overall his combo isn't clunky. It was fun. It wasn't that bad. Pretty straightforward. 5-hit light combo to gain as many withers and specters on the opponent as you can. And yeah, when you get that green door open, you really can deal some damage. So we'll talk about it. First up, what are his strengths? One of his strengths is incredible powerful regeneration reversal and ability power rate reversal. The leader has some of the strongest regeneration reversal and ability power rate reversal in the game, with quick access to stackable specters and withers. This allows him to shred through regeneration heavy fights and mystics that gain a ton of power over time. With the help of the new power dissolve effect, he can inflict damage within this as well. So yes, I think he may have the best power regeneration and wither in the game, because he can stack him so quickly. So I think he's a versatile defender. He also has severe debuffs. Leader's personal debuffs are severe, preventing them from being removed via purify and cleanse effects. While this limits the specific skill champions, this can counter his spectre and winter debuffs. Standing on top of the green door will absorb these debuffs as well, removing them with no penalty. So the goal is definitely to keep the AI in the middle of the screen, but we all know how difficult that can be. One of his other strengths is aggression. Due to the nature of the green door surging through all that stand near it, the defender both on attack and defense will behave much more aggressively. This allows leaders to perform intercepts with most easily while on top of the green door. This increasing aggression and gradually fades away as the defender gets further from the door. So the goal is definitely to keep the defender in the middle of the screen, which isn't that bad, but can be a little tricky in my opinion. But next up, we're about to discuss his weaknesses, and he does have some. One of his weaknesses is loops oriented around the green door. The leader is strongest when he's playing around the green door, meaning this he needs to do his best not to perform longer combos and instead perform more frequent, shorter combos, which may be difficult depending on personal playstyle. So yeah, his playstyle is a bit tricky at times, but it can be rewarding if you play a little bit risky. I wasn't a fan of it, but that's me. Also, special attack 3 damage loop. Leader's big brain plays shine the brightest while he's reversing his opponent's regenerational ability power rate. Otherwise, the best option as far as damage is to go to SP3, inflicting a devastating degeneration debuff. This, however, has the problem of having the best general use damage locked behind his SP3, which can waste time in battlegrounds and alliance war fights. Also, endurance. Leader does not deal massive damage as a defender. However, he does reduce incoming damage for each personal debuff on the opponent as a semi-enhanced version of the inequity mastery, meaning that he will waste your time if you don't play around his debuffs. So bringing endurance or standing on top of the closed door to remove debuffs will deny him that damage reduction. So as you can see, I'm not doing that here because we're taking a ton of damage, but try to stay in the middle of the screen. What immunity does he have? He does have one. He does have poison immunity, which, isn't all that surprising because, he's kind of like a Hulk. But I also kind of think he would be immune to reverse controls, but, that's me. Anyway, next up, let's discuss him awaken. Now, when I was playing him, I didn't think he needed to be awakened. Other people may tell you differently. When he's awakened, the leader has at least 12 personal debuffs on the opponent. He gains a steadfast passive. This becomes 4 debuff against Mystic champions, so basically he can block the unblockable. Personal fury effects now have the duration of 6 seconds and are paused while the green door is active, so not bad. Intercept the opponent with a light attack has a 100% chance to randomly inflict a personal spectre or wither debuff. So I think he's fine on awaken. Again, he does benefit from being awakened, but I don't think he needs high sig. But of course, the more sigs, the better. I don't think I would use generic awakening gems on him or generic 6 stones. I would probably use, class 6 stones on him, maybe a class gem, but that's about it. I had fun playing him unawakened. I think he can be just as effective, especially since it's so easy to apply those withers and those Spectries. So, and you get the degeneration from the SP3, and at 6,200, you know, of course he's gonna, you know, be a little bit better than what he was on Awaken, especially against a Mystic champion. Now, for some odd reason, he counters a Mystic champion really, really well. So this is another good counter for the Mystic class, which the Mystic class already has so many great counters. He also has semi-decent prestige. I believe his prestige was 18,280, so not bad prestige. I don't think many people will rank him up based on his prestige, but you know, you never know. I don't think I'm gonna spend any six on him, but I definitely would like to have this champion. I think he's really good. Let's talk about his synergies. Now, his synergies to me were a little lackluster. He has one with Elsa Bloodstone Moment, inflicting a person with her or a Spectre pauses leader's power with dissolve for 1.5 seconds. With She-Hulk, he inflicts a person with her or Spectre pauses leader's vitality passive for 1.5 seconds. And then he has synergies which increase, you know, the attack rating and gain +5 perfect block chance, and all champions gain 130 armor. I thought those synergies were okay. I don't think anyone's going to be building a team specifically around him. I think he's fine by himself, but you know, those synergies could help. I'm pretty sure, you know, someone like Metal Sonic Dude might find the She-Hulk synergy very beneficial, or someone that may use Elsa Bloodstone or Mole Man. I think they might find those synergies, but a little bit, I think his synergies leave a lot to be desired in my opinion. Not bad synergies, but again, I'm not going to rank up a champion because the leader has a synergy with him in my opinion. But you know, that's me. Leave a comment below if you would. I definitely wouldn't. On defense, now on defense, he's going to be a problem. Like like playing around those debuffs and the green door and trying to, I don't know, it's going to be challenging because you actually got to worry about where you're standing at on the stage. And I don't think many champions besides like Silver Sable and Arcade have that ability where you have to watch where you stand and watch where you're at on the stage at all times. But he's going to be definitely a good defender because he's going to be tanky, and you're probably going to take damage unless you like using someone like here, like Kitty Pryde. And even that can be interesting because you're still going to get the Withers and the Spectres, and there's no one in the game that can shake off his debuffs. And I don't think even Ghost can turn them into passive Furies. So he's definitely going to be a defensive problem. Offensively, I think he might be a liability because, you know, he's so slow. But there are certain champions like Shang-Chi that still can manage to deal with his debuffs and do some decent damage on him. But it's still really, really tricky to play him or play against him on defense, in my opinion. But, you know, that's just my opinion. Stat focus. Now, I didn't find many stat focus for him, but I do think that the special damage on offense and defense will be beneficial because of, you know, the Withers and the power resolve and the vitality. I definitely think, you know, that he would benefit from that, especially in Battlegrounds, because anytime you get +8% attack on attack or +12% special damage on defense will only help you, especially since he's kind of a liability on offense and he's kind of a tank on defense. So I definitely think those two are the best stat focus for him. Leave a comment below if you think others will be better, but those are the ones I found beneficial. Next up, we're going to talk about the Relic. I only found one Relic for him, and that was the Spider-Man 2099. I don't think he's really built for Relics. Again, every champion benefits from the Relics, but in this particular case, I didn't really find one that really took advantage of his abilities and skills and his debuffs. So I think the best one in my opinion was this one, unless Kabam decides to come out with new ones, so hopefully they do. But yeah, leave a comment below if you think another one would be better for him, but that's the one I figured would be best for him. And Masteries. The Mastery I think are good for him are Despair. Leader has many debuffs active on the opponent at all times, meaning that Despair will make his already powerful regeneration reversal even more powerful. And Inequity, similar to above, Inequity will bump up Leader's defensive capabilities very quickly. So I don't think he's good for the damage masteries unless you plan on just on the SP3, which can be beneficial, but you know, he doesn't have a way to heal. So, and he's poison immune, so maybe he'll be okay, but that 5% degen is, I mean, it's not bad. Overall, what are my overall thoughts on him? Overall, I think he's a solid champion. I do have some pros and cons. I think he's a good defender. He's fine unawakened, and if you do awaken him, he's fine with low sig, and he does decent damage, especially with that SP3. But on the cons part, I do think he's AI dependent. trying to keep the AI in the middle of the screen on the green door is really, really tricky and really inconsistent. And you can't do long combos because you probably get knocked out of the green door. And once the green door closes, you got to work your way up and build it up. So it can be kind of different. You can't play too aggressively. And he also has a really slow ramp up, kind of has bad utility. And offensively, he's kind of a liability in Battlegrounds and AW because he has you need to activate his SP3. And in Battlegrounds, it's all about you only get 2 minutes to do as much damage as you can to the defender. So throwing the SP3 will only hinder you. But cons aside, I still think this is a really solid champion. I think he's definitely worth the investment and ranking him up. And I kind of do want him as a 7-star. I think his playstyle, keeping the AI in the middle of the screen, I think that is not bad. It was also, in my opinion, he's really easy to intercept with. So I think he's a solid champion, and I don't think his cons hold him back. I think he has a bright future in the contest, in my opinion. So overall, I think he's a very solid champion, and I'm looking forward to have him. So if you like him, let me know. Leave a comment below. And if you did like this video, please hit that like button. And for anyone new here, if you can hit that sub button, I'll greatly appreciate it. Y'all take care. Have a great and wonderful day.